Hey friends and family, welcome to Marcie Creates. This is Marcie, and today we're going to talk about probably my favorite subject, which is complementary color. This is our third episode of the Beading with Color Confidence series, and this is all going to be about complementary colors. So, what are complementary colors? Complementary colors are colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. So, if you take a look at my bead tray here, uh, red and green are opposite on the color wheel. So they are complements of each other. Violet and yellow are opposite, and they're also complements, as well as orange and blue are complements. Now you can also do complements with the tertiary colors. So um, remember that you mix a primary with a secondary to get a tertiary color. So in this case, this is red orange. You mix red and orange. Opposite the red orange is blue green or turquoise or teal, whatever you want to call it. So these are very dynamic together. Uh, Anything you pick, if you pick its opposite, that's its complement. So in this case, we've got yellow green and we have violet red here, or some people call it fuchsia. Here we have blue violet, or some people call it periwinkle. And here we have orange yellow, yellow orange. So it doesn't matter where you go, as long as you're going to the opposite side of the color wheel, that's its complement. So in looking at our our color wheel, because I just want to go over another little point here. Depending on what strength of the hue that you're using, remember hue is just the name of the color. So in this case, blue is the hue. Opposite blue is orange, but you can vary how things look by using the tint, which is the color plus white, the tone, which is the color plus gray, or the shade, which is the color plus black. So if you notice, a tint is going to be the lighter version, like the pastel version, if you will. The tone has a little bit of gray in it. It's usually muted color. And then the shade is the color that's a deeper color, usually mixed with black. So if you use the color wheel that I have, and I think I've linked it places, but I will make sure it's in the description, you can see it is two-sided, but on this side you can see the tint tones and the shades. So as you move this, so especially like with red and green, for instance, red and white is pink. A lot of people like pink and green together. Well, there's a reason for that. Those are complements. The tone is red plus gray, so it's more of a peach, kind of a peachy red color. And the shade is like more like a burgundy, like a deep red. So when you're playing with the complements, you just go to the opposite side of the color wheel, and then you can decide on the tint, tone, or shade. So let's look at some examples with some different beads. We'll just play for a minute. So one of my favorite combinations is the yellow orange and the violet blue. Look how pretty that looks. So I'm using kind of a lighter, watery periwinkle, if you will, with this really pretty saturated yellow orange. A lot of combinations can be played with by doing things that are little different tones and shades. Like here we have a pure red, but we have a tint. This is green plus white. It does have some deeper green in it, which gives it even more interest. But basically, mixing those creates a really pretty look. Or in the case of, Christmas, we're very used to seeing this combination. That's a complement. That's a complementary color scheme. It's very, very strong. So if you use the pure hues, you're going to get a very bold look. Whereas if you play with the tint, tone, and shade of one of them, or both, you're going to get a totally different look. So you could do pastel versions, both of them, or let's see, let's pick some pastels. So here's a light yellow. So this is going to be yellow mixed with white. And then maybe you want to pick a lavender, like a light lavender. These are complements, but they're different tints, tones, and shades of the complements. So I would say, let's play with another one here. So here's a very bright orange, right? And a deep blue. That's a very modern, strong contrast. But what if we change out that blue for the tint, which is the blue plus white? Isn't that pretty? But it looks totally different. And what if you do a deeper blue? This would be more like a shade of blue, a deep blue, maybe a midnight blue. Feels different, doesn't it? So depending on the strength. Oh, and then here's I always love this too. This is more Southwest looking. So I love the Southwest look. Look at the red orange with the blue green or teal or turquoise or whatever you want to call it. That is a very popular combination in Southwest jewelry, right? So I encourage you to get your beads, in the stash, put them in the order of the color wheel, and then you can really play around with how much of one color. Um, you could even do, let me just do this. You could do a very light version with a very deep version, and then you could use another really light version and see how that really pops. I just love that. This is one of my favorite color combinations, is the periwinkle and the and the yellow orange. I think that is so pretty. So that is pretty much complementary colors. We're going to make some earrings, several pairs with different combinations. I'm going to get a little organized and come back, and then we will do a little playing, do some earrings, and play around with the tint, tone, and shade, and use the complements of several different combinations. So stay tuned. I apologize, I didn't have my microphone on. I hope you could hear me. I just want to show you these beaded beads. So yellow and violet are opposites on the color wheel. Now I did this bead, as you can see, in the more pure forms. And then I did the pastel versions on this bead. So you can see in a design the difference. Now, working with these two would be really cool. I think I may make a couple more and do a bracelet. And I thought about adding, something like this. So see how nicely those all go together? So that is why I love complements so much. So I thought, yeah, let's do a pair of earrings. I'm going to move these beaded beads aside. And I just pulled some silver head pins and some earring hooks and let's see, I did want to do a Southwest version. These are these really cute Zuni bears. I think I got these on Bargain Bead Box, so I thought we'd use those. So again, I'm going to do the southwestern looking palette. I'm going to do, let's see, I think I'm going to do, so this turquoise is got a lot of black in it. So this is more, muted, I would say. And I'm going to pair that with, sorry guys, I lost something. I'm going to pair that with something on the opposite of it, this carnelian bead. So look how pretty that looks. So that's very southwestern looking. So I thought we'd just do a simple pair of earrings like that. And then let's pick another grouping. Let's see. Let's do a dark purple with a light. Do I have a light yellow? Yes, I do. Pair of earrings. Maybe we'll do a light and a dark yellow. I mean, a more of a pure form of yellow. See how interesting that looks? So you could add several versions of the complement to maybe the pure form or vice versa. I mean, the possibilities are endless, really. So let's make some earrings really quick. I am just going to use this ball head pin here. These are going to be very simple. So just for demonstrating purposes, I'm not going to go too wild with the design. And I might use a little spacer bead. I love carnelian with teal. I think it's so pretty. And I don't know if you've all have seen, but I think the color of the year for 2026 is teal, which is kind of cool. Let's see, I want a small something. Maybe we'll do a little. Oop, that's too big. Ah, here we go. A nice square bead. The majority of this I found at Bargain Bead Box. So this is what we have so far. Then we put our dark teal. See how nice that looks? Actually, I think that silver bead's too big. Let's do something smaller. I know I pulled a whole bunch of stuff so I could just, and now I can't find what I'm looking for. I have some little tiny rhinestone rondelles, but I don't know where I put them. That's okay. We'll just do a little spacer bead. I just want a little more balance. There we go. I like that better. All right, so let's just do a simple loop. These are very simple earrings. I'm actually going to add this to a jump ring and then add it to the ear wire so it has movement. Since I'm just doing this in one, I think I'm hearing thunder outside. We could use the rain. It was so hot today, you guys. Ugh, I'm so tired of hot. I want fall. And in Texas, you don't really get that till like the end of October. Although I did see some of the lows are going to be in the 60s next week. So I hope this rain cools things off because, ugh, I don't like how hot it is these days. I'm done with summer. All right, so let's grab a jump ring. And I was charging my microphone. That's why I forgot to put it on. I always do that. I don't know why. That is shut so nicely. I can't even find the opening. See how that moves now? That's kind of why I did that. Of course, I'm probably not going to be able to shut this nearly as good as I did as they made it. But just some little Southwest earrings, just, with two little compliments. It makes a nice little color combination. And you can make a bunch of, things like this and play around with the tint, tone, and shade, and really come up with some really cool. It's always going to work. Really cool looking pieces because um, these are some of the color theory, rules, if for lack of a better word. You're going to always have some visual interest by using the complements. So let's do the purple and the yellow, or the violet and the yellow, I should say. Got this nice, really pretty crystal. Also, it's clear, and the other one's clear, and the other one's opaque. So that's another little element of difference that's going to look pretty cool. And let me just grab. And of course, this has a little bit of a different finish, even though it's a clear light yellow. But then we have this pop of bright yellow. Again, you've got their complements. I think we'll do the same thing with these that we did with the others. We'll make a loop, and then we will add a jump ring. I should have pulled out more jump rings. Yeah, I love using complements. That's always a good go-to if you're stumped about a color scheme, because it's always going to work. And depending on which, the strength of the color, the tint, tone, or shade, you're going to get totally different effects, especially if you're mixing things. Very fun to play with. I hope that you will give it a try. Like I said, the possibilities are endless, which makes it all the more fun. Oh. I think that guy was in the wrong bucket. You were in the wrong bucket, mister. We'll worry about that later. I'll make the mates, off camera. I just want you to see a bunch of different possibilities. We'll do one more. Oh, I did not close that very well. There we go. So here is our yellow and our violet and yellow combination. Very nice. Love it. Let's do one more. Oh, let's see. What do we want to do? I love periwinkle with, I don't know if I have any more of these. Let's see. Oh, here's a pretty leaf. Let's do that. That's very bright. And maybe we'll do a darker shade as well. That's cute. I like it. Let me grab another one of my Oops. I pulled up several kinds of head pins, so I didn't know what I'd be using today. So we have this really pretty check leaf in the yellow orange. And let's see. We'll do a little bead cap. Oh, I need a smaller one. Need a smaller one. Here we go. Oh, that one's about the same size. I don't know. It looks different to me. Yeah, I love this color combination as well. I think it's so pretty. And then we're doing another tone. It's got a little more darkness to it. Could be a tint, a shade. But I think that's more, I don't know, it feels kind of grayish to me, so that's why I'm calling it that. I do encourage you to get your own color wheel. I think I put one, the first video I did, I put the link for the one that I use. Whoops. Would help if I hung onto that. Do invest in one. You can get them, I think, at Michael's and Hobby Lobby as well. That's not the greatest loop, but that's okay. It's really helpful. And, that way if you get a bead or you get a, like a subscription box that has colors maybe you don't use very often, you can kind of use the color wheel as a guide for adding to it. I just love using complements. I think that they make for a dynamic looking piece of jewelry, very visually interesting. And I think everybody's got colors in their stash that'll work together. I think every color works with every color, honestly, but it's how you combine them and, the different finishes, etc. That's what makes everything so interesting looking at the end of the day. So here is our yellow orange with our blue violet, or as I like to call it, periwinkle combination. Nice, huh? So all these are complements. Let me move this to the side. And you've made interesting jewelry. Let me open up just a tad so you can see these better. So here we have our red orange and our teal or blue green. Here is our yellow orange and our periwinkle or blue violet. And here is purple and yellow, violet and yellow. So I hope that you will play with this. Find a group of beads maybe you don't use very much, or maybe you got them from a kit that you haven't used, and notice if you have something that's opposite on the color wheel from it that you could add to it, and really just play with it. Play with, the pastels, the different tints, tones, and shades. Remember that a tint is that color or hue plus white. A tone is that color plus gray, and a shade is that color plus black, which is a deeper color. And the tone is more of a muted version. I think that's it for tonight. I know this is not a very long video, but I think it's a pretty simple concept. As long as you are looking at a color wheel, you can figure out what something's complement is. So I will link again the color wheel that I have, that I use from Amazon. It's a great color wheel. I don't think they're very expensive. I honestly, maybe $7 or $8. Or go to Michael's, your local art supply store should have them. You could probably even print them off from the internet. But some printers don't print the true color, so that may not work for you. But give this a try. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite color combination, or if you've tried this before. Do make some pieces. Join us on Marcie Creates Facebook group and show us what you've made. I really, really would love to see what you made. And everybody over there is so supportive and so kind. I know they would love to see it as well and support you in this color journey. So I hope this gives you more confidence using complementary colors in your jewelry designs. I think it's a game changer. I think once you know about that, the possibilities are endless, and you can just really make some interesting, really beautiful pieces. So with that, I'm going to tell you good evening. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of your sweet selves and your families and be safe. And I will see you on the next video.